want to go to General Jack Keane on this. In general, you're the military expert, and I'm still searching for the Mandarin word for chutzpah on the part of China here. They're demanding their debris back and returned immediately. They're refusing to take calls from the defense secretary, essentially hanging up on the guy. They are outraged by our provocative actions. I understand the best defense is a good offense, but, man, what do you make of it all?
Well, I think they've been hugely embarrassed by all of this, frankly, and they know full well that the lies they've told, nobody believes that. It's not credible whatsoever in terms of denying what the mission is here, that this was a weather balloon off course. Look, I think going forward here, it's mostly going to be positive for a couple of things. One is a huge brazen thing that the PRC has done here with this balloon, obviously planning for it to traverse the United States and, in full view, loiter over nuclear-sensitive military bases. I think what that has done, certainly, is it has strengthened the convictions of the bipartisanship that already exist in dealing with China. And that's number one. Number two, the American people, I think, had a sense psychologically of feeling a little vulnerable watching this balloon over Montana sitting on top of nuclear bases. But at the same time, as this went on, my interaction with people on this is frustration and a bit of anger and a strengthening of the conviction that China really is our enemy. And so I think going forward here, there's likely going to be some positive things in terms of the ability of the people and also our elected officials to focus on this very serious threat. The second thing is, given the autopsy that everyone's doing on what took place here, dealing with the singular balloon that's transversed the United States, I think it's unlikely we would ever permit a balloon to do that again, Neil. And I understand the rationale and excuses being given for why we didn't take it down. After all, we were tracking it for days before it got to Alaska. We knew what its intent was because, based on the NORAD commander, he knew that it was not weaponized, but he also knew it had surveillance equipment on it. So I think we'll take more aggressive action in the future. The thing that concerns me, though, are the other balloons that were operating largely in the south, and the fact that those balloons, at least 4 of them, 3 for certain, went undetected. That, to me, is an issue. And we've got to figure out why is that, and really what were those missions that are being performed. I believe that the mission of surveillance is one, but I think there's another mission to find out what is the best pathway to enter the United States with some kind of a vehicle, not necessarily a balloon.
But do you believe
where
that?
there's
do you
not
believe
sufficient
that, General?
radar coverage? Because I believe that China is not just trying to get information from military bases by surveilling them. They're trying to penetrate the United States with other kinds of vehicles and find out where we're vulnerable because we don't have sufficient radar coverage or sufficient satellite coverage. And likely that is in the south, southeast, and southwest, because our radar coverage and our satellite coverage is protecting us from ballistic missiles and nuclear bombers coming from Russia and China in the east, west, and north. So this is a serious issue, and I believe this administration owes us an explanation as to what actually happened and what are we doing to fix that particular problem.
How did they find out that there were these issues in the past?
Yeah. What they have explained, and not revealing the sources, they went back through all the sources of information that we have, eavesdropping, other indications, and they discovered that, yes, indeed, these balloons were there. They haven't told us what the sources were but I'm not disputing that. The fact is, that is a serious, serious breach of the United States protection that we believe we have.